before, okay? I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe, I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams and I live them every day. My mom said I could be whatever I want to be. I move to the tune of my heartbeat. Listen close, my heart speaks and says that my head is full of dreams. Dreams of the ones you have when you're asleep, with the dreams that you make real through adversity. So no matter what they try to tell me, I know I got dreams and I always believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. I got dreams, I got dreams. Say I believe. Make some noise for yourself. Clap it up. You look fabulous. So my name is Denice and I'm a poet, and my friend here, his name is Josh, and he's a drummer. And Josh and I have something in common. We communicate. We just communicate in different ways, right? So I'm a poet. I communicate through what? Words. And he's a drummer. He communicates through what? Music, sound, right? So there's something called poetry language. So how many of you write poetry or like to write anything? Beautiful. We have a room full of budding writers and poets. So in poetry, right, we try to use words and language in really unique ways. Does anybody know what the word unique means? What does unique mean? It means different, right? So we use words and language in unique ways. And if you like singers, if you like music, how many of you like music? Raise your hands. Everybody, some of you play music, right? So if you like Justin Bieber, clap. Oh, one person. Wow, that is new. I think some of you might not be telling the truth, right? But think of your favorite artist, singer, rapper, right? Lil Wayne, maybe, I don't know. But they all use poetry. They all use poetic language, right? And so, can anybody tell me, what color is the sky? What color is the sky? It's blue, right? All right, I'm asking another question. It can be gray sometimes. It can be red depending if the sun rises. I like the way you're thinking. It could be pink too. See, now she says it could be pink. That's something a poet would say. It could be purple. That's something else a poet would say. How do you think the sky feels? How does the sky feel? Can I see hands? How does the sky feel? It feels sad. What else? Happy. It could feel happy. It feels blue. I like it. The sky feels big. That's something a poet would say, right? So there are lots of ways that we use language and we bend language in new creative ways. But the most important thing is that you're using your imagination and you're talking about how you feel and what you think about things as a person in your life. So all of you could be poets, and some of you are poets already. So there are a lot of different ways we use language in different ways. One way that we use it is called a metaphor. Does anybody know what a metaphor is or heard of a metaphor? What is a metaphor?
We heard about it in class before, but we never got to realize it.
Maybe it was the end of the period. What is a metaphor? Can you tell me your name? Leia. What is a metaphor, Leia?
It's like an expression.
It is an expression. It's figurative language, a figure of speech, right? So you don't mean it literally. Like literally the sky feels big. Now I don't know how that could literally happen or what that literally would look like, right? But it's something you can imagine. And if I'm really good at poetry, then I could create language that you could draw from it. Like if I expressed myself, right, and said, maybe the sky feels like a ballerina, always twisting and turning, right? Or maybe love is a bridge that connects people, that connects you and I, that connects family, that connects friends, right? You love your friends, right? You love your family, right? Say yeah. It's like, of course I do. What kind of question is that? So a metaphor is something, listen really closely, because this is something that, if you think of, I used to play basketball, so I always think of things in basketball terms. So poets right? We have crossovers. We go behind our backs with language. We go between our legs with language. So one of our moves is metaphor, and that's when you compare two things that are totally different from each other, right? And you make it work. There's something about those two things that you make work. So maybe this speaker here, what could this speaker be? How could I compare this to something totally different? What does it look like?
A robot.
It looks like a robot. See, I didn't even think about that. What else does it look like?
It looks like a box.
It looks like a box. Ooh. What else does it look like? It looks like an alien. Look, so all of these answers, these are poets' answers. Yes, one more. It looks like a tree. See, that's what I thought. I'm too simplistic though. We have robots, we have aliens. Okay? What if I said that sadness is a vacuum? What? What else could say? Do you want to explain what I mean by that? Okay, shh. Everybody, we're gonna turn. What's your name, sweetheart? Ruby. So Ruby, or I gotta say it like that, just like you said. Ruby, Ruby. Why is sadness a vacuum? You're sucking the life out of everything. I like you guys already. I'm having fun with you. Are you having fun? Say yeah. All right. So I made up a poem. I'm gonna do a poem for you guys. I made up a poem, and this poem is about drums. And when we talked about how we compare things, right? What do we call that when we compare two things that are very different from each other? Wait, a Ruby. Ruby. It's a metaphor, right? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna use metaphor to express how I feel about a drum. Does that make sense? All right, if you're with me, say yeah. Yeah. All right. This drum is a jungle gym. I climb through all of its sounds. This drum is a beautiful language. I speak through all of its verbs and nouns. This drum is a ballroom. I dance through all of its rhythms. This drum holds all my secrets. You can hear them if you stop and listen. This drum is my favorite candy. It tastes so sweet on my hands. This drum is my best friend. It always understands. This drum gives me fever. This drum is a celebrity like Justin Bieber. This drum is orange like the sun because I warm it up like a heater. This drum is a color green because it represents life. This drum gets me in trouble because I end up playing it all night. This drum lets me express myself like my favorite song. You see, this drum is my poetry. This drum is my home. Thank you.
Give it up for Denice. So, do you know that when you take beats and words or songs and you put them in your brain, they could be planted there forever? Yeah? So, I want to test the waters here and see what you guys have already been told musically. And so we do this for the power of good. We want you to learn. We want you to be excited. We want you to use this as a vehicle to tell your story or tell how you're feeling. But there's a lot of songs and things that go into your head as well that might not be used for good. So let's check this out. This is the seed planting / how much TV do I watch test. All right? So I'm going to say something, and if you know the answer, just say it back. Ready? We are farmers. Like a good neighbor. With a bunch of kids that don't drive cars but know a lot about insurance companies. Nationwide. Really? Are they? Alright, what if I say a number? 5. Oh, good. So you don't know that 5 is a $5 foot-long sandwich. That's good. That means you're being productive after school. Because some people, I just go 5 and they break out into a song about a 6-inch sandwich. I don't know. One more. Red Robin. Yeah. So we can start the car insurance chorus here with you guys. Why are those songs stuck in your head? Because they're catchy, right? And so we're going to try to put some other things in your brain, but make sure that all the music and all the things you listen to are worthy of going in there, because they may never come back out. Let's test the grown-up people in the room. My baloney has a first name. Happen to them too. So what I want to show you guys, I really love, you can tell I like to talk, right? And I'm also kind of a big kid. But what's cool about the drum is that you can really speak through the drum. So raise your hand if you speak. You all better raise your hand. Raise your hand if you speak English. Que rico. Okay, hands down. Manos arriba, gente hablan español. Yes. All right, put your hands up if you speak drum language. You do? Oh, cool. So if I say something like, now what's cool about drum language is it's not English. You could go anywhere in the world and speak drum language. I've been to Brazil, been to Cuba, been to Japan. Haven't been to Turkey, but they're really good at drums there. And some of these places, I don't even speak the language, so how do I learn? The teacher starts talking to me and I start looking at them like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then they tell me in the language of the drum. The language of the drum could sound something like this. Bloop taka, bloop taka. Zakadum, zakadum, dum. Dum dum cha, dum dum cha. Tuku baku tiki kuku, papa kunki kuku. So you learn how to say what you're going to play. And so would you guys like to learn a little drum language with me? I know you do. All right, ready? I'm going to say it, you say it back. Boom, boom, cha, cha, cha.
Boom, boom, cha, cha, cha.
Boom, beep, beep, boom, beep.
Boom, beep, beep, boom, beep.
Dong, dee, dong, dee.
Dong, dee, dong, dee.
Oh, that's too easy for you. We're going to speed it up. Boom, boom, tap, tap, boom, tap.
Boom, boom, tap, tap, boom, tap.
Boom, boom, ring it, ring it, ring it.
Boom, boom, ring it, ring it.
Boom, boom, ring it. Boom, boom, ring it. Boom, to boom, to boom, boom, crash. All right, you guys got it. So now you're versed in a little bit of drum language, and we are going to move on to another poem. And so one more thing I want you to know. Because percussion has so many different sounds, it's used a lot to tell stories. All right, you might hear them in a scary movie. So if you're looking at a movie and the lady's all alone in the house and the guy with the chainsaw is walking around outside, if you're just watching it with no sound, you're like, okay. But if you hear and you see the lady and she's like, and you hear like, that makes it scary, right? So we use this music to help tell the story, and this next piece we're gonna do just that. We're gonna use the sounds to help tell the story.
So, like I told you in the beginning, I used to be a basketball player. Are there any sports athletes? So, when I was about your age, I started playing basketball. And when I was your age, many, many years ago, there was no professional basketball league for girls. It was very new at that time, right? Can you imagine there was no WNBA at the time? There was only the NBA. And so I would be usually the only girl on the basketball court. You're not, and that's why that's just gonna make me cry. I wish I wasn't the only one, but it made me tough. It made me tough. And so when we write poetry, we tell our stories. Remember I said that in the beginning? We use poetry, we use language to tell our stories. So I'm gonna tell you a story about basketball, and it's so fitting that we are in a gym. I did that on purpose. All right. So poets, we also use objects or things to represent how we feel. That's really what a metaphor is. So I'm going to use basketball as a metaphor to communicate how I feel and the story that I have. Is that cool? All right. The first time I shot a basketball, I aimed it towards the sky like a wish. To me, the rim was some faraway place where the horizon meets heaven and boys groom themselves into men. At 7 years old, I believed that Barbie alongside these lines, but you, Dad, you taught me that lines are only useful when you bend them. So each day, I'd be the only girl on the playground, convincing my arm it was a fountain, my wrist it was a gymnast doing backflips and backflips, catapulting the sun in my palm. When the park lights turned off, we worked on my handle. You were a doorknob with a sign that said, keep your head up. So I zigzagged between the stars like they were cones, and together we made the playground a planetarium. At 13, I dreamed of hanging from the rim like a chandelier. I told the whole block I'd be the first woman to dunk in the NBA. Most of them laughed. But you, Dad, you looked at me with a smirk that is the Morse code of underdogs and said, these lines are like copper. Most people are like steel. They don't bend as easily. And still, you're far too young to worry about any of this. Their parents probably never showed them that a rainbow is just a big jump rope you get to play with when you get older. And growing older doesn't mean anything if you never grew up. And growing up doesn't mean anything if you never believed that ridiculous things were possible. And you got plenty of time for all of that. See, dreams are bus passes with no expiration date. So enjoy the ride until your knees sound like creaky gym floors and your back is a sailboat that's hugged the world at least 2 times. See, in basketball, passing is a gift you give before you go. But you were a gift I never said thank you for being the silent cheerleader in every game when my gender felt more like a disability and all I was some girl on their team. So take every shot I made as a thank you card, signed by the branches in my hands that will never forget the bark they came from, sealed by the sweet spot in my spirit that knows only this. I may never be able to dunk, but there's a rim where the horizon meets heaven that will always make me wonder, what if? If you're still with me, say yeah. Is Ruby still with me? Say yeah. She's like, yeah, still with you. So we're gonna do another freestyle jam. That's how we started, right? So in freestyle, there's a word called improvisation. What is improvisation? Where you do something what? You got it. Without a script. Do something off the script. What I like to say, some people say off the script, I say off the top. Can you say off the top? Off the top of my head. So this jam is called the What's Important Jam. So when I say what's important to me, I'm gonna point to you and you're gonna say, what's important to you?